Since the original Mario Party released for the N64 back in '96, there have been a total of 18, yes, 18 different Mario Parties to hit Nintendo consoles, making it one of, if not the most prolific franchise properties in all of Nintendo's catalog. Depending on your age, if you have fallen in love with Nintendo, you most likely grew up playing one of these games at some point. It's an interesting franchise because with every release there is truly a winning formula that makes a good Mario Party game involving a combination of good boards, minigames, and character rosters. However, to keep the franchise interesting and relevant, most new versions introduce unique twists and game modes which occasionally work out but often don't. So, with Mario Party Superstars releasing a couple months ago for Switch, let's see where it ranks in the grand scheme of all Mario Parties to ever grace Nintendo's consoles. Leading off here is the only Mario Party game that's not really a Mario Party game, and that's the main reason it falls all the way down here. It's actually a card game, it just uses the Mario Party namesake. Mario Party E comes with 64 physical cards that you can scan using the old school Game Boy Advanced e-reader and a playmat to challenge up to 4 people at the same time. The game exists as a nostalgic curiosity more than anything else, and even though you could actually make an argument that it's a better game than several on this list, it's not really a true Mario Party game in the end. Mario Party Advance was Nintendo's first attempt to venture out from the traditional console experience, but unfortunately the game just doesn't cut it for a number of reasons. The single player mode honestly isn't terrible, with a ton of cool characters, but the half-baked attempt at multiplayer combined with some really bad minigames makes this the most forgettable Mario Party entry in the whole catalog. Mario Party 10, the only Wii U Mario Party released, essentially falls so incredibly low on this list for the simple fact that it does everything that Mario Party 9 got wrong and literally doubles down on it. The fact that the game only uses the single vehicle mechanic for movement after it was such poorly received from 9, only has 5 boards, and focuses all its extra content on amiibos, led to a pretty bad rendition of the Mario Party experience, even with some decent minigames under the surface. No real surprises here, Mario Party 9 falls low on this list as one of the most disappointed Mario Party experiences created. It's way more polished than the first Wii release, but mechanically introduced my least favorite element, and that was removing the freedom of player movement on a board and replacing it with a singular car that everyone shares. I don't know whose idea this was, but sometimes innovation backfires, and the bold attempt to introduce some life into the series ended up ruining what could have been a good game. The only reason Mario Party the Top 100 is ahead of Mario Party 9 and 10 is the simple fact it didn't ruin the Mario Party experience and isn't trying to be anything more than what it is. It's a collection of 100 minigames from all the previous Mario Parties, nothing more and nothing less, and at least had the feature to play against other 3DS users, whether or not they had a copy of the game themselves. So I could do a whole video on how unique Mario Party Star Rush is compared to the other Mario Party games, just know that this is mostly because several new game modes like Toad Scramble replace the traditional party board with free roaming boards, characters moving at the same time, and ally characters to join your team along the way. While not all of the game modes hit home for me, I can't deny the decent attempt to innovate the handheld Mario Party experience. Mario Party Island Tour is one of the more polarizing Mario Parties around, and I'll explain why. Every board is actually linear, and also introduces board-specific objectives, really changing up the star collecting formula that we are all used to. Similar to Star Rush, I appreciate the attempt to create a handheld experience that is certainly playable, but I do think it ends up getting a bit lost with what it was trying to be. So if this is my personal list of most disappointing Mario parties, Mario Party 8 on Wii would be number 1. It has the bones of a normal Mario experience, but the execution of it is quite frankly terrible. The boards are boring, the game visually looks and performs worse than GameCube, and the minigames are at times the worst since Mario Party Advance. The motion controls seem completely tacked on as opposed to being designed with the Wii remotes in mind. The result is a rushed and sloppy mess of a game. If only I could have taken the minigames and polish from Mario Party 9 and put them in the infrastructure of Mario Party 8, then there would have been some potential for a solid version of a Wii console Mario Party. Starting with Mario Party DS here at number 10, this is the point in the list where I can recommend all of these games for one reason or another. Mario Party DS is by far the best of the old school handheld versions. It was also literally the last Mario Party to feature traditional Mario Party gameplay for over 10 years until the Switch releases. The entire premise of Mario Party DS involved shrinking down characters to small sizes, and the boards and minigames reflect this in their design. This is really a charming idea, and you can also play with 4 players with 1 game card if you wanted to. It ends up being perhaps the most underrated of the Mario parties. At number 9 comes Super Mario Party, a game that I personally wanted as a savior to the franchise, but it fell incredibly short of that in a ton of key areas. Basically, for everything that Super Mario Party does right, it does 1 or 2 things wrong to ultimately make it a disappointment. The kind of bogus online implementation and the severe lack of boards hold this game up more than you might think, and really this makes it an extremely overrated game to the Switch audience, even with some nifty bonus modes and concepts like custom dice blocks for each of its 20 characters. You could argue that Mario Party 4 is the safest entry in the entire franchise. This was the first GameCube release, and with that comes visuals and controls that still hold up decently well today when compared to the original trilogy. Classic gameplay is alive and well here, but ends up being a bit more stale when compared to the entries that came just before and just after it, and it didn't really do anything all that memorable to make note of. At number 7 is, well, Mario Party 7, the last of the GameCube era titles. I honestly think that Mario Party 7 is a really good version of the game, but everything it does well was already introduced in Mario Party 6, and the things that separate the game from its GameCube counterparts, like a limited 8-player mode or character-specific orbs, aren't all that interesting. Regardless, I do consider it a solid title, and the cruise theme is a fun one that fits well within the Mario Party universe. The OG Mario Party is tough to rank as the game still had some kinks to work out in its gameplay, but there's no denying that this version created the bones of an awesome franchise, and its flaws like having a ton of luck-based minigames and not a ton of extra things to do can be overlooked due to its innovation and creativity as an original idea. I also really love how each playable character has their own board, something that I wish was kept in the rest of the franchise. Mario Party 5 is a must-own Mario Party title for many different reasons. If 4 was the safest game, 5 was certainly one of the most innovative. It is one of the most complete packages with 7 visually interesting boards, a capsule system for items that I think holds up better than initially received, with plenty of extra game modes to keep you busy. Mario Party 3, the third and final N64 era Mario Party, is particularly memorable for me for being just an incredibly well-rounded package. At the time, 70 brand new minigames was absurd, many of which hold up to this day. I also think it had one of the better collections of boards, with a personal fondness of the insanity that is Waluigi's Island. It was really the perfect way to end the N64 era of Mario Party games. So to answer the question in this video's title, well, here it is. Mario Party Superstars, for me, falls number 3 on this list. It is a perfectly solid, traditional experience that was literally over a decade overdue, and the perfect starting point for anyone new. I've said for quite frankly decades that I wanted to play Mario Party online with my friends, and well, we finally can do that. The only thing preventing Mario Party Superstars from being higher on this list is the lack of originality. I think too many safe decisions with items and gameplay were made, and there was a huge missed opportunity to include more boards from the series. I consider Mario Party 2 to be the oldest Mario Party to truly refine the gameplay experience, as it took an original idea in the first game, tweaked the mechanics to make them more fun, and then expanded upon them perfectly with things we take for granted now. It also felt like a more intimate and charming experience, which is not something I often say about most of the other Mario Party games. It essentially became the blueprint for all future good games, and because of that deserves a high ranking in my opinion. So everyone is probably going to have a favorite Mario Party, and don't let this list dissuade you, but for me, the number 1 Mario Party is 6. I just think everything about this game is top notch. The boards and their day-night cycles are super creative. Orbs instead of items adds another level of strategy that I think fits perfectly within the experience, where you can strategically take over spaces on the boards or stop players in their tracks. It also has some of the best minigames around, rare minigames like Block Stars and Dunk Bros that are super addictive, and extra game modes outside of party mode that are actually somewhat worth your time. I can still go back and play a Mario Party 6 round today and have an absolute blast. In the end, the Mario Party franchise is all about getting together with your friends to have a chaotic and not so serious gaming experience with just enough skill elements to keep it engaging for anyone. They all act as a pseudo showcase for the Nintendo universe and ultimately transcend gaming in a lot of ways, as almost everyone has attempted to play one of these games at some point. I hope everyone watching enjoyed this list, and definitely let me know in the comments what your favorite Mario Party game is. Thanks for watching, everyone.